Bhagavadgita Adhyaya 6 Shloka 4 Yada hinendriyartheshu na karmasvanushajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yogarudhastadochyate. If you look at the previous shloka, shloka 3, Bhagavan talked about yogarudhaha. The word yogarudha was used. Yogarudhasya tasyaiva shamah karanamuchyate. How long should one perform karma yoga? As it was stated earlier, as it was described earlier, karma yoga is an inevitable aspect, an inevitable discipline in the spiritual pursuit. In fact, Bhagavan encourages Arjuna to perform karma yoga. Then how long should Arjuna perform karma yoga? How long should a spiritual aspirant perform karma yoga? Should one perform karma all one's life, all through one's spiritual pursuit? Or should karma be given up at some point of time? What is the deciding factor? In fact, the Shastra says that karma should be given up at some point of time. That is why there is something called sannyasa. What is sannyasa? Giving up the karma. Karma tyaga. The Shastras reveal something called sannyasa. The Shastras talk about sannyasa. This itself indicates that a spiritual aspirant should drop karma at some point of time in his spiritual pursuit, in the course of his spiritual pursuit. Then the question arises, when should one give up karma? What determines the point of time when one should give up karma. Is it age? Is it health? Krishna says, neither age nor health is the deciding factor. Then what is the deciding factor? It is the extent of spiritual maturity. The extent of spiritual maturity is the deciding factor. When a seeker has reached a certain state of spiritual maturity, he is mature enough to give up karma. Until then, giving up karma will be too premature. It is like premature birth. If the baby is born before maturity, it is a problem. Likewise, if someone tries to give up karma before accomplishing certain maturity, it is going to be detrimental to his spiritual pursuit. Therefore, Bhagavan is explaining how long should one perform karma and when one can drop karma. It was stated in Shloka 3. Until one becomes yogarudhaha, he has to perform karma. Yogarudhaha is an individual who has accomplished a considerable amount of chitta shuddhi. He has accomplished a considerable amount of spiritual maturity in the form of mental purification. His mind is free from certain undesirable emotions like desire, greed, attachment, and so on. And he has clarity in thinking in terms of the pursuit, what one should attain in life. He wants only moksha, nothing other than moksha. When he is able to say for sure that he wants nothing other than moksha, no other desires in life, no other goals in life, then he is a yogarudhaha. Yogam arudhaha. He has accomplished the yoga Yoga literally means focus, concentration. In this context, it means a chitta shuddhi. There is a very intimate association between focus and chitta shuddhi. The real focus is possible only when the mind is pure. When I say focus, I mean focusing on the spiritual subject. A spiritual focus of mind. The ability to focus on the Paramatma. Ability to focus on self-knowledge. Even the ability to focus on the teaching of Vedanta. A complete focus. A focus without distraction, it is possible only when the mind is pure. Many people complain we are not able to focus on the sadhana. We are not able to focus on the Vedanta sessions. And most often we blame it on some other factors. Someone else is disturbing us. Wife is disturbing. Husband is disturbing. Children are disturbing. Neighbors are disturbing. If we inquire properly, we understand what disturbs us. It is the absence of chitta shuddhi. The undesirable thoughts, undesirable emotions, they are the real enemies, the real distractions. As long as they are present, it is not possible to focus efficiently. There may be some focus. Again, I want to clarify here, it is easy to focus on other subjects. When somebody watches a TV serial, or when somebody watches an interesting cricket match, it is not at all difficult to focus. In fact, most often we go into samadhi while watching TV serial. He doesn't know the time at all. 1 hour passes without knowing. That means it is not difficult to focus. The mind has the ability to focus. But when it comes to the spiritual topic, it is not easy to focus. The same person who went into samadhi while watching a cricket match is not able to focus for a minute when it comes to a spiritual topic. Therefore, the spiritual focus, the ability to focus the mind on a spiritual theme, it is called yoga in this verse. And it is possible with the chitta shuddhi, a pure mind. For a pure mind, it is easy to focus on a spiritual topic. An individual with such a mind, a seeker with such a mind, is called yogarudhaha. Yogam arudhaha. He has climbed up the yoga. He has accomplished the yoga. And how did he accomplish? By means of performing karma yoga, by performing the right action. For a good length of time. Sometimes it may take many years, and sometimes it may take many janmas. That is why Krishna says, Aneka janma samsiddhaha bahunam janmanamante. It can even take several janmas. Now somebody might as well ask, Swamiji, tell me how many janmas? There is a story of Narada. Narada was going somewhere in a forest. There were many mumukshus. They were all meditating. They were all doing tapas to get moksha. And one of them asked Narada, how long will it take for me to get moksha? Then Narada said, you will take 4 janmas. Then this gentleman said, 4 janmas? I have to wait so long. It is too long. Can you shorten it? Then Narada said, it is not in my hands to shorten it. It depends on you. An individual may have too many impurities. How long it takes to be free of the impurities, it depends on an individual. Therefore, work for it. Continue working one janma, two janma, three janmas, and fourth janma you will get moksha. Narada said this. Then this gentleman was impatient. He did not have that much patience to wait for 4 janmas. In that case, I don't want moksha. He gave up pursuing moksha. Then Narada walked ahead. Another person came to him and he asked the same question. How long will it take for me to get moksha? Then Narada told him, 8 janmas. On hearing that, even he lost hopes. I have to wait for 8 janmas. Then I don't want to work for moksha. So he also gave up the pursuit. He went ahead. Many other people asked him the same question. How long will it take for us to get moksha? So Narada said, you will take these many janmas. Somebody will take 10 janmas. Somebody will take 15 janmas. Somebody will take 20 janmas. So Narada gave some numbers. And everybody became impatient. And they gave up their pursuit. Then, finally, Narada comes to a yogi who was meditating under a big banyan tree. And this yogi opened his eyes when Narada came. And then he also asked Narada the same question. How many janmas will it take for me to get moksha? Then Narada said, you are meditating under a tree. And this tree has thousands of leaves. Big tree. Many leaves. As many leaves are there in this tree, so many janmas you will need for getting moksha. This was Narada's answer. Then this yogi was very happy. Instead of being impatient, instead of getting dejected, instead of losing hopes, he was very happy. Because he said, at least after so many janmas, I will get moksha. Then I will continue to pursue. I will continue to work for moksha. And he continued working for moksha. He continued his sadhana. And in due course of time, he attained chitta shuddhi, attained jnana, and attained moksha. So what we should understand from this story? Patience is very important. One should have enough patience. Don't look for an immediate benefit. It is not possible to get moksha in 10 days or 15 days. It is a work of many lives. Certain things take entire life, one life. If you look into the lives of scientists or some freedom fighters, they have dedicated entire life. Likewise, so many of our acharyas, like Shankaracharya or Vidyaranya, or our own recent acharyas, even today, many sadhus are there. If you look at them, they have dedicated all their life. It is a lifelong work. And sometimes it can take several lives. If moksha takes so long time, if moksha requires so much of effort, then one might think, why I should pursue moksha at all? Why I can't pursue anything else? Because anything else is going to be temporary. If I don't pursue moksha today, if I don't pursue moksha in this life, I am wasting this life. Because anything else is not going to be permanent. As long as I am not pursuing moksha, I will remain in samsara. There is no other way out. It is the only way out. Therefore, it is worth pursuing moksha. Let it take many janmas, yet it is worth pursuing moksha. I am not going to promise any quick fix. Why? Because even Krishna is not promising any quick fix. There is no quick fix. If anybody says there is a quick fix, then please don't trust them. This is my suggestion. So, yogarudha. Until one becomes a yogarudha, he has to perform karma. He has to work for chitta shuddhi. And when he has become a yogarudha, then he is eligible to give up karma altogether. And he is eligible to dedicate his time to the pursuit of self-knowledge, to the pursuit of Atma-jnana, Therefore, Bhagavan had said, Yogarudhasya tasyaiva shamah karanamuchyate. When he becomes a yogarudhaha, then shamaha. Shamaha means karma sannyasa, giving up of karma. It serves as the means. Giving up of karma serves as a sadhana after that point of time. Because then he is supposed to perform, he is supposed to pursue Atma Jnana, self-knowledge. And to pursue self-knowledge, one should have a life of contemplation, a contemplative life. And the contemplative life is facilitated by sannyasa, giving up of karma. Now this shloka explains when one can say that one is a yogarudha. How do you know I have become a yogarudha? The characteristics of a yogarudha, the indications of a yogarudha. What is the indication? Is beard turning grey is an indication. Is hair turning grey is an indication. Krishna says none of them are indications. Yada hinendriyartheshu na karmasvanushajjate. Yada indriyartheshu na anushajjate. When the seeker, the mumukshu, he is free from desire for sense objects. He is no longer attracted to the sense objects. No longer attracted to the world. No longer attached to the world. No longer attached to his own possessions. No longer attached to his own relations. This is one type of indication. Therefore, he is a sarva sankalpa sannyasi. He has given up all sankalpas, all desires, all ambitions. When we say this has to happen in this way in my life It is a sankalpa. This has to happen only in this way. Otherwise, I am going to be miserable. It is a sankalpa. Our compulsive desires, compulsive likes and dislikes, they are sankalpas. Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi. He has given up all sankalpas. He doesn't say this has to happen in this way in my life. I should have a house in a particular part of a particular city. I should have a 4-story house in Marine Drive. Then only I will be happy. What is this? Sankalpa. So he has given up all sankalpa. Instead, he is ready to accept what comes by itself. What his prarabdha provides, he is ready to accept. He is able to accept. He is able to accept where Ishvara has placed him without complaining. In fact, today is Chandramana Yugadi. The first day of the lunar year, Samvatsara. It is called Chandramana Yugadi. It will have many other regional names, but the Sanskrit name is Chandramana Yugadi. Some people call it Ugadi. It is not Ugadi, it is Yugadi. Yuga Adi. So on this day, we have a practice. It is observed in this region, in Karnataka, very much. They eat bevu and bella. Bevu means neem. Neem and jaggery. Both are eaten together. On this day, in the morning. Neem is bitter and jaggery is sweet. Both are eaten. What does it mean? It has a symbolic implication. Everything that we do in the culture has a deep meaning. If you look into what we do in the tradition, it is related to the Vedanta in some way or the other. The whole Indian culture is related to Vedanta, or at least the Veda, the Shastras, the fundamental vision of the Shastra, in some way or the other. So this eating neem and jaggery symbolizes acceptance of both sweet and bitter. Acceptance of both pleasure and pain. Acceptance of both pleasant as well as unpleasant experiences in life. As the grace of Ishvara, as Ishvara Prasada. So this Yogarudha, he is able to accept all that comes to his life without complaining. Therefore, he is Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi, implying that he has a great degree of acceptance in life. When he has such a degree of acceptance, it leads to the other word, na karmasvanushajjate. He does not compulsorily engage himself in any activities. He does not compel himself into actions. When I have a sankalpa, things should happen in a particular way, I will try to work for it. I will run here and there, take tension, push myself to get the work done, to get my desire accomplished. But when I am ready to accept what comes in life, I don't compel myself, I don't push myself into actions to accomplish my desires, to fulfill my compulsive likes and dislikes. Na karmasu anushajjate. He does not compulsorily involve himself in karma, in actions, to accomplish his desires. Here, karma should be understood as kamya karma. He does not push himself, he does not exert himself towards kamya karma. Then he is a yogarudha. He has given up all kamya karma. Initially, he has given up with some effort, but now it has become very natural to him. He is no longer interested in anything. He is not interested in any material pursuit. Then he is a yoga rudha. When he has become a yoga rudha, he is entitled to give up karma altogether and take to sannyasa and pursue the self-knowledge, pursue a contemplative life. And this chapter, which talks about jnana, which talks about dhyana, is primarily addressing such people who are yogarudhaha. And being yogarudha, they have given up all karmas and they have dedicated themselves to the life of contemplation. Shloka 5. Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanamavasadayet atmaivahyaatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. On hearing the previous two shlokas, one might wonder, especially a spiritual seeker wonders, will I be able to become a yoga rudha at all? Sarva sankalpa sannyasi. Can I give up all sankalpa? Can I give up all desires? One can wonder. And some people can even get disappointed. Such a state is very far. I am already full of so many desires. Moreover, my mind is not disciplined. My senses are not disciplined. When my case is such, how can I have hopes for becoming yoga rudha? Instead, let me give up hopes. Should I give up hopes? Then Bhagavan says, never give up hopes. Instead, try to uplift yourself from wherever you are. Uddharedatmanatmanam. Atmana atmanam uddharet. Uplift yourself by yourself. Uplift oneself. One should uplift oneself by oneself. Never allow one's own degradation. Sometimes we allow our own degradation, our own spiritual degradation. It can happen because of many causes. Most often it happens because of our own temptations. Because of our temptations, we succumb to temptations. When we succumb to temptations, we are going downwards in the spiritual pursuit. It is a spiritual downfall, a spiritual backsliding. Sometimes it can happen because of our own temptations, and sometimes it can happen because of a pressure from the society as well. The society or the peer, because of peer pressure, because of social pressure, or because of somebody's pressure, also the degradation is possible. Why I have to be like other? Why I have to be different? I should be like other people. If you look at the college students, when they look everybody else smoking, they are also forced to smoke in some way. It's called peer pressure. Everybody else say, oh, we are all doing this. If you don't do it, you will be an odd man out. So because of many reasons, human beings often degrade themselves. Choose their own spiritual downfall. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Natmanam avasadayet. Do not choose your own downfall. Never choose your spiritual downfall at any cost. Instead, uddharedatmanatmanam. Uplift yourself by yourself. Atmana atmanam uddharet. Uplift yourself by yourself. Why by yourself? Because nobody else can uplift you spiritually. Until I am ready, nobody else can uplift me. It is like waking up in the morning. How to wake up in the morning early? Let's say 4 o'clock. Who can wake me up? Will the alarm clock wake me up? Will any neighbor can wake me up? Nothing can wake me up until I am ready to wake up. I have to choose to wake up. Any external support, any external aid is useful only when I am ready to wake up. It is so with the spirituality also. Any external help, whether it is a guru or whether it is Ishvara, Guru Anugraha, Ishvara Anugraha, Shastra Anugraha, everything is useful only when I am willing to uplift myself. Only when I am willing to progress spiritually. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Uddharedatmanatmanam. Atmana Atmanam Uddharet. Uplift yourself by yourself, and then you will get the grace. Then you will get help from outside. Only when I am willing and I make honest effort to improve myself in the spiritual dimension. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.